Marcus Thorne pushed open the door to his hotel suite. Exhausted from back-to-back business meetings that had stretched from dawn until nearly midnight. At 39, he'd built a real estate empire that spanned 3 continents. But tonight all he wanted was a hot shower and his bed. He stopped short in the doorway. A young woman lay sleeping on his bed, still wearing the pale blue uniform of the hotel's housekeeping staff. She was curled on her side atop the covers, her blonde hair spread across the pillow, one hand tucked under her cheek. She looked peaceful, vulnerable, and utterly exhausted. Marcus's first instinct was to call the front desk and demand an explanation, but something made him pause. He noticed the cleaning cart still in the hallway, the fresh towels neatly stacked on the dresser, the room spotlessly clean. She'd clearly been working when fatigue had overcome her. He stepped closer, studying her face. She was young, maybe 26, with delicate features and dark circles under her eyes that spoke of too many sleepless nights. Her uniform was crisp but worn, mended carefully at the seam. On the nightstand beside her lay a textbook, medical terminology, with notes scribbled in the margins. Marcus made a decision. He quietly removed his suit jacket, picked up the soft throw blanket from the chair, and gently draped it over her sleeping form. Then he settled into the armchair by the window with his laptop, prepared to work until she woke. An hour passed, then 2. Marcus found himself watching her more than his computer screen, noticing how her breathing changed, how her fingers twitched slightly as she dreamed. There was something about her that intrigued him, some quality of determination visible even in sleep. Finally, she stirred. Her eyes opened slowly, unfocused at first, then widening in sudden horror as she realized where she was. She sat up abruptly, the blanket falling away, and saw Marcus watching her from the chair. "Oh my God," she gasped, scrambling off the bed. "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. I was just finishing the room, and I sat down for just a second, and I must have fallen asleep. And I'm so sorry." Her face was flushed with embarrassment and fear. She was clearly terrified she'd lose her job. "It's all right," Marcus said calmly. "Sit down, please. I should go. I should call my supervisor. You should sit down and catch your breath," Marcus said gently but firmly. "You're not in trouble." She hesitated, then perched on the edge of the bed, her hands twisting nervously in her lap. "I'm so sorry, Mr. Thorne. I know who you are. This is completely unacceptable, and I take full responsibility. You know my name. The housekeeping staff knows all the VIP guests. I'm supposed to be extra careful with your suite. Make sure everything is perfect." Her voice cracked slightly. "Instead, I fell asleep in your bed like some kind of Goldilocks. I'll pack my things tonight. I know I'll be fired." Marcus studied her. "What's your name?" "Eleanor. Eleanor Mitchell." "Well, Eleanor, I'm not calling your supervisor, and you're not losing your job. At least not because of this. But I am curious. When did you last sleep a full night?" Eleanor looked down. "I don't remember. Maybe 3 days ago?" 3 days? Why? The whole story came out then. Eleanor was putting herself through nursing school while working full-time at the hotel. Her mother had recently been diagnosed with cancer, and Eleanor was covering her medical bills while also supporting her younger sister. She worked the night shift at the hotel, went to classes during the day, studied in between, and somehow tried to visit her mother at the hospital. "I usually manage better," she said quietly. "I have a system. Coffee, lots of coffee, and I take 20-minute power naps in the break room. But today I had 3 exams. My sister called with a crisis at school, and the hospital called about a billing issue. By the time I got to your room, I was running on fumes. When I sat down to catch my breath, I didn't mean to fall asleep. I swear I've never done anything like this before. Marcus felt something shift in his chest. Here was someone working herself to exhaustion, not for luxury or excess, but for family, for education, for a better future. You're studying to be a nurse? A nurse practitioner, eventually. I want to work in oncology, help people like my mom. Eleanor managed a tired smile. Assuming I don't fail out from exhaustion first. How much longer until you graduate? A year and a half. But at the rate I'm going, trying to balance everything, it might take longer. Marcus made a decision. The kind of impulsive choice his business advisors would have counseled against. But his heart knew was right. I have a proposal for you, Eleanor. My company has a charitable foundation that provides scholarships and living stipends for medical students. I'd like to nominate you for funding that would cover your tuition and living expenses for the remainder of your education. Eleanor stared at him. What? No, I can't accept charity. It's not charity. It's an investment in someone who clearly has the dedication and intelligence to succeed. You're exactly the kind of person the program was designed to help. But I fell asleep in your bed. This isn't earned, it's pity. No, Marcus said firmly. What I saw tonight was someone who's been pushing herself so hard for so long that her body literally shut down from exhaustion. That's not weakness, Eleanor. That's someone who needs support so they can achieve their potential without destroying themselves. In the process, Eleanor's eyes filled with tears. I don't know what to say. Say you'll accept help. Say you'll take care of yourself while taking care of everyone else. Say you'll trust that sometimes opportunities come from unexpected places over the next weeks. Marcus arranged everything through his foundation. Eleanor's tuition was covered, along with a stipend that allowed her to reduce her work hours to part-time. He also connected her with resources to help with her mother's medical bills and her sister's educational needs. But what surprised Marcus was how much he found himself thinking about Eleanor, making excuses to stop by the foundation office when he knew she'd be there for meetings, asking about her progress in ways that went beyond donor interest. Eleanor noticed too. She started arriving early to their scheduled meetings, preparing thoughtful questions about his business, sharing stories about her studies and her patients. They discovered a shared love of classic films and terrible puns. Coffee meetings extended into dinner conversations. 6 months after she'd fallen asleep in his hotel room, Marcus invited Eleanor to dinner at a restaurant far nicer than any foundation meeting required. Is this a date? Eleanor asked, smiling as he held her chair. Would it be inappropriate if it was? Probably. You're my benefactor. There's a power imbalance. People would think I'm using you. Are you using me? Eleanor met his eyes directly. No, but I am grateful to you. How do I know the difference between gratitude and genuine feelings? Marcus reached across the table and took her hand. I've been wondering the same thing. But here's what I know. I think about you constantly. I look forward to our meetings more than any business deal. I admire your strength, your compassion, your determination. I want to know everything about you, not because I helped you, but because you fascinate me. I fell asleep in your bed on our first meeting, Eleanor said, laughing through sudden tears. Not exactly a romantic beginning. It was perfect. You trusted me enough to be vulnerable, even accidentally. You showed me that success means nothing if we're too exhausted to enjoy it. You reminded me what really matters. Eleanor squeezed his hand. I'm scared. What if this doesn't work? What if I lose the scholarship? The scholarship isn't contingent on our relationship. It's yours regardless. But Eleanor, I think we owe it to ourselves to find out if this is real. It was real. Over the next year, as Eleanor completed her nursing program with honors, their relationship deepened. Marcus found himself leaving work early to attend her graduation ceremonies, bringing her mother flowers at the hospital, teaching her sister to drive, on the day Eleanor received her nursing license. Marcus took her back to the hotel, to the suite where they'd met. He'd arranged with management to have it prepared exactly as it had been that night. "Why are we here?" Eleanor asked, confused. Marcus pulled a small box from his pocket and knelt beside the bed where he'd first found her, sleeping. "Because this is where my life changed. Where I met a woman so dedicated to helping others that she worked herself to exhaustion. Where I learned that the best things in life come from unexpected moments of connection." He opened the box to reveal a simple, elegant ring. "Eleanor Mitchell, will you marry me?" Eleanor looked at the bed where she'd fallen asleep that night, at this man who'd seen her at her most vulnerable and chosen to help rather than judge, who'd supported her dreams while building a relationship of equals. "Yes," she said, pulling him to his feet. "Yes, absolutely yes." At their wedding a year later, Marcus told the story in his toast, making their guests laugh and cry. "People ask me how we met. I tell them my wife fell asleep on the job, and I fell in love. That sometimes the best relationships begin not with perfection, but with humanity. That sometimes we find our future in the moment someone else is too exhausted to pretend they have it all together." He looked at Eleanor, beautiful in her wedding dress, her mother healthy and smiling beside her, her sister serving as maid of honor. "Thank you for falling asleep that night. Thank you for letting me see the real you. Thank you for teaching me that wealth means nothing without someone to share it with."